what's on BBC1 this evening. At 5:25, Disney time comes from Disney World in Florida. And then at 6:10, over 30 celebrities captained by Nigel Dempster and Billy Dainty congregate to wrestle with huge sandwiches, giant dolls and enormous caterpillars in Knockout Star Gala. After that, a bank holiday special Jim will fix it at 7 o'clock. Crazy capers include an 87-year-old who goes down a salt mine and a vicar looping the loop in a glider. The Adventures of the Wilderness Family is tonight's film at 7:40. It's the true story of a modern pioneer family who, tired of the strains of life in Los Angeles, head out for the wilderness and attempt to cope with the vagaries of nature in search of a better life. In the quest to become Mastermind International, contestants from the nations Australia, New Zealand, Ireland and the United Kingdom undergo interrogation by Hugh Evans at 9:20. The main news is at 9:55, followed by highlights of the Edinburgh Military Tattoo of 1983 at 10:15. And finally, Phil Silvers is Sergeant Bilko at 11:30 when he begins a little scheming to improve his financial position. And those are bank holiday programmes tonight on BBC1. In just under 5 minutes, it'll be time to take your seats for the bank holiday grandstand, which includes cricket, motorcycling, racing, international athletics and show jumping. First, a look at today's weather with Bill Giles.
Thanks very much. Well, not a great deal of change in the weather today. What you have now, you're likely to keep. We've got two areas of cloud to worry about. One in the southeast, which I think, if anything, will thin. One in the northwest, which will thicken up, bring a little bit of drizzle to those northwestern parts today. And then more persistent rain coming there through the night time. And then over the next 2 or 3 days, it looks as though the high is going to persist close to the England and Wales, giving them some dry weather, some fine weather, but still with some cloud near that eastern coast. This low pressure area with its fronts will push in though and bring cloud, rain and some fairly strong winds to the northwestern part of the country, and that will gradually edge its way southeastwards in the second half of the week. But let's look at the satellite picture now. This was taken just about half an hour ago and shows the cloudier weather in that southeastern quarter of the country, a fine dividing line between that and the sunshine further northwest. And there's the cloud up in Scotland coming into Northern Ireland, with the thickest cloud out to the west still yet to come. But let's have a look at today's weather first of all. And for most places it's going to be a dry afternoon, a good deal of cloud around, as you've seen in this southeastern quarter from Yorkshire down the West Midlands down to about the Isle of Wight. And the problem I have is the cloud going to break or not? Well, I don't think it will on the eastern side, right near that coast there. But the further west you come, the more likely you are of seeing some sunshine coming through. But the best of the sunshine again today will be in southwestern parts of England and also into Wales too, where it'll turn out reasonably warm. Some sunshine too in that eastern part of Scotland, where you're getting shelter from the southwesterly winds. But in the northwest, the cloud's thick enough, I think, perhaps to give a little bit of drizzle, and this thickening up still further to give some rather heavy and more persistent rain as we go through the night, and this working its way across into central parts of Scotland too. And at the same time, you'll find these southwesterly winds freshening up quite a lot, so wet and windy there eventually. The rest of the country dry, quite cold in this northwestern part, where there could even be a touch of ground frost later on. Well, that's it from me. Bye-bye.
On BBC2 this afternoon at 1:50, there's The Life and Death of Colonel Blimp, the feature film starring Anton Walbrook, Deborah Carr and Roger Livesey. It traces the military career of Clive Candy VC, personification of the British gentleman soldier. On BBC1 now, it's time for sport in Bank Holiday Grandstand.
Morning, I hope you're enjoying the bank holiday weekend so far. We've started the programme early once again to bring you the final day's play in the test match up at Trent Bridge. But before we go there, let me tell you what else is in the programme. Well, we've got some very fine athletics later on from Crystal Palace, where Steve Ovett will be in action. So is world champion Steve Cram and many other world stars too. We've got racing from Ripon. At Hickstead, the show show jumping from there. And then there's motorsport this afternoon from Silverstone, the British Grass Track Grand Prix. And of course, quite a few first and second division football matches taking place this afternoon, and we'll be keeping very much in touch with those. Well, in the test match, New Zealand still need 344 to win. Seems to be out of the question, really. But England will want to mop up the remaining 5 wickets as soon as they can today. And all ready for business. There in the commentary box, you can see Richie Benner. Says good morning to you, Richie.
Morning, Desmond. Morning, everyone. And as I speak to you, umpires Harold Bird and Barry Mayer have made their way out to the centre. Very small crowd here this morning, but that's quite understandable. They packed the place for the first 3 days and had marvellous entertainment, and now it's rearguard action as far as New Zealand are concerned. With Warren Lees and Jeremy Coady, the not-out batsmen,